welcome back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. This is the Attack the Rack podcast with myself, Big Mo, and Trent. As you can see, we are all now on the X platform. Feel free to follow us. Our handles are in the bottom corner of our windows here. Hey, reminder, we still got, well, we'll see. We're going to be talking Lions football today. I think we're all down in the dumps. The pick show guys, I know, are down in the dumps. We're supposed to do 2 more episodes. You know, the championship, AFC, NFC championship week next week, and then the Super Bowl week. I'm assuming we are going to, but we did kind of joke around if the Lions lose, we're not going to feel like doing that. But stay tuned for that. 2 more episodes of the pick show. We also have a pretty cool interview coming out later this week. Sammy Go Blue, the big Michigan Wolverines fan, interviewed new tight end for Rutgers, Colin Weber, transfer from Charlotte, now playing from Rutgers. So he's got a really good interview with him. That'll come out next week. I mentioned last week an interview with Ref Rob, the viral sensation. Check him out on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. We had to reschedule that interview, but that should be coming shortly too, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't yet subscribed to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel, please click that little subscribe button right there. It'll take you a half a second. It's free, but it means a ton to us, helps us grow our channel. If you're looking to sponsor anything we do, we are looking for sponsors for 2025. You can email us at attacktherack3333@gmail.com for more information on that. All right, guys. I know that, what are we at here? About 18 hours, less than that, maybe, since the end of the game. I'm feeling worse now than I was feeling last night. I can honestly say, you know, I've been an avid sports fan since I was 9 or 10 years old, so the last 35 years. Been through a lot of heart-wrenching losses. This, honestly, for me, the way I'm feeling today, this might be the worst. Big Mo, I want to get to you first. We watched the game together last night. You were in rare Big Mo form last night. Threatening to never watch another Lions game again. Everyone should be fired.
I don't think I said everyone should be fired.
I'm cleaning it up. You said something way worse.
I don't think I said anybody should be fired, Kurt. I just said I doubt one of the offensive coordinators is a hot commodity this morning, which it sounds like other people are feeling the same way. But I think I am a true fan. Like, I get worked up. It's probably why I don't watch a ton of, you know, I'm a loyal Lions, Pistons, Michigan Wolverine. So I take that stuff personally. But I will say this morning, it's done. It's over with. Washington played better. They had a better game plan. And in reality, our defense just wasn't going to be, it wasn't Super Bowl ready. They found a way the last few weeks to maybe hide that fact, but Washington, you know, and again, also you can't have 4 turnovers. You know, you can't recover from that. Did Washington have any?
Nope.
No, right? So
they turned it over the one time on downs with when that busted play with Mariota.
Oh yeah.
And I think they only punted once.
Yeah. So, you know, Washington was the better team. They did everything better last night. I will say this: I hope everyone's back next year and we try to make another run.
All right. Well, you answered my question then without me even getting to being able to ask it. My question was,
how am I feeling?
Yeah, how are you feeling? Were you feeling? And I'm not. And obviously, I was the same way. We were on fire last night.
Yeah.
I think I was talking about, I was feeling like, we give these guys 3 or 4 hours of our time every Sunday throughout the year, and this is how they repay us. I mean, there was some pretty negative stuff coming out of both of our mouths last night. So I'm not feeling as on fire angry as I was last night. I'm just feeling really, really sad today. And Big Mo, my question for you is how were you still feeling as angry as we were feeling last night? It sounds like you're obviously not feeling great, but
Yeah. I mean, I
looking
will.
at it from a realistic situation standpoint, we just weren't good enough.
No, I don't think so, and I'm sure. I mean, I think if we went back and looked at the beginning of our one of our podcasts, talked about the Lions seasons, one of my worries was golf, and you almost wonder how much that hit uh, affected him maybe throughout the game, because I think he had two interceptions after that illegal hit that wasn't called.
Yeah,
Um,
rocked his world, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So how much does that affect him? I don't know. I think the play call of the JMO pass, awful.
Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
I almost think that we probably should have held Montgomery out and just relied on Gibbs more.
Agreed.
Um, I think that was maybe not, and not in a bad way. Like he deserves to be there if he was healthy enough to play. But that Gibbs was pretty untouchable for most of the night, and we couldn't get him to rock enough. Um,
Well, he's been untouchable for the last 5 weeks.
yeah, yeah,
And then giving Montgomery 8 of his touches after the rhythm they kind of got with Gibbs.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting that Montgomery coming back after several weeks out with an injury, in the very first two plays of the game, they give him the ball.
Yeah. And the first one he got cracked.
Yes.
It's like, welcome back, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought they should have just rolled with Gibbs. Like, I'm glad Montgomery was back, but I feel like the offense with Gibbs in most of the time was more explosive.
Yeah, he's about the lone bright spot for the Lions last night.
Yeah, him and Amon-Ra had a good game too.
Yeah.
But
And JMO did have that really sweet 60-plus yard touchdown run, but he also threw an interception, but I don't blame him for that. That was a horrible, horrible play call, Trent. What do you think? I mean, they're down 10. It was in the fourth quarter in a playoff game, and you're going to run that.
yeah, I thought the play call was horrendous. And they were actually driving the ball down the field. And, like, I don't know, you get the stop that you needed because you didn't get one forever. So I mean, you got to capitalize on it, but it's just like they got too cute with it instead of just playing power football and doing what they normally do. They decided to go trick play, and I don't know. When you have Goff and all those other weapons, why do we need JMO to throw a pass?
Yeah, and he's not only is he a wide receiver throwing a pass, the pass was to a running back.
Yeah.
It was to
Yep.
Gibbs.
Yeah. And I like the first trick play with the quick toss to the option, the Montgomery to JMO, I think or was it to Amon-Ra?
it was Amon-Ra.
Like that play was sweet. Like that
Yeah.
was a sweet play, but
I've
you
never seen
can't.
a play like that before.
No, but I feel like when you try to expand it even more after that to the double reverse pass or whatever that was, I just think that's too much in a playoff game. And you don't get as many chances either.
No.
Right.
So I think they just like wasted a chance to like completely switch momentum in the game.
Yeah, because if you score there, then you're putting pressure on a rookie quarterback who played phenomenal.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah. But I'll tip the hat. I didn't think their defense. And obviously, we don't get a chance to see him play, or I don't think I've watched a full game of theirs. And I know they struggled early on defensively, but they looked like uh, a really good defensive team last night, flying around, putting pressure on Goff, hitting people. Um, so, in all, I think they were just a better team last night.
Yeah. And the cameras do a good job of hiding those defensive guys that haven't played a snap all year.
Yeah.
And then like late in the game, the guy makes a tackle and they're like taking his first snaps of the year. And it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, no wonder we couldn't get a
yeah,
stop.
it's like, okay, it all makes sense. But I also have an issue with if you are in the playoffs still, your coaches should not be interviewing for other coaching jobs. Like they need to, because we had the defensive coordinator and Johnson both were interviewing for jobs, which I
While
don't know. I
trying
feel
to,
like
yeah, while trying to prepare for the biggest game of the year, a playoff game, on a team where you are a heavy favorite to win a Super Bowl.
yeah, and I just think it's like they either need to change it to where you got to wait till the Super Bowl is done or your team's eliminated. But I know it makes other teams wait, but I just don't think that helps anything, especially like locker room purposes. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, I just interviewed for the Bears job, but let's start game planning for Washington.
Yeah, I
I don't
agree
know.
100%. I think to keep it fair, then it's got to be, no one period can do interviewing until after the Super
Right.
Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that makes it a shorter time period, but I just feel like it hurts those teams that are in the playoffs and their coaches are already thinking about leaving next year.
And another
Because
key play.
Was
Okay, go ahead.
Ben Johnson was not on his A game last night.
No, neither was Aaron Glenn. I mean, how about the 12
No.
man in the field?
And they didn't call timeout.
Yeah, yeah.
They just let it. They were just yelling at the guy. Like, you think you're gonna be able to hear somebody in Ford Field on what was it, fourth down on a fourth down play?
Yeah.
Tell you to get off the field like that. You got to burn a timeout.
Um, I really, I could care less if Aaron Glenn's back or not, but and is not. Yeah, obviously we have issues with Ben Johnson last night, but if you look at his total body of work, obviously he would be welcomed back as our offensive coordinator. What I'm hoping is that he'll be in the mindset now. I screwed up. I want to win a Super Bowl. This is my best opportunity to win a Super Bowl. I'm going to come back. I'm going to, finish what I started, rectify, having a bad game. And as far as I'm concerned, Aaron Glenn, peace out. I've never been a fan. I appreciate what he's done with the defense this year. I mean, you got to give him credit for, having a manageable defense
Very manageable last night.
despite
No.
all the injuries. Give him credit for that. But peace, get out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Harsh, Kurt. You're harsh.
Well, not as harsh as the words that you were using last night, Big Mo.
I don't think I said anything bad.
We'll talk about it off air because if we talk about it on air, we'll get booted off YouTube.
Oh, probably. But I don't remember saying too many bad things about the coaches.
Oh man.
I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm all in with my heart, man.
Love the
emotional
passion.
roller coaster.
Love the passion.
Just emotional in the moment.
Here's another thing. Is everybody gonna come back? I have no idea where contracts are, if anyone's contracts are expiring. Are we gonna miss, like we've talked about several times on the podcast how the Lions window to win a Super Bowl is so small, you know. I think that still reigns true. Are we in a situation where, okay, guys are going to leave, they're going to get paid more to go elsewhere, so we're going to lose some of our talent? Or are we in a situation now where, hey, the Lions have been really, really good for 2.5 years. They've got probably one of the most, favorite coaches in the NFL. I think any NFL player would want to play for this coach. Are we in a situation now where we're attracting free agents? And obviously money will have to play a part. If we are going to attract free agents, they got to get paid. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are we in a situation where we can lose guys to free agency, or are we maybe on the opposite end now where we might attract guys?
Well, I think most of our core is back, right? Like Amon-Ra got the extension. Gibbs is still on rookie contract.
True.
Montgomery signed an extension. I don't know what Goff's contract is.
Well, he just signed a huge contract, didn't he?
Oh, yeah,
Going into this season?
Yeah. But I think the big concern will be offensive lineman contracts. Because I think we keep Sewell, but some of those other guys I'm not too sure on.
Yeah.
So the offensive line gets weaker. I think it'll be much more difficult But I think if the offensive line can stay together, we could always bring in some other wide receivers, like to play that Tim Patrick role.
Yeah.
Then I think Laporta's on year what, 4, 3?
Already? Wow. Yeah.
I think we might bring majority back
Okay.
offensively. Defensively, I have no idea.
Well,
Everyone getting healthy would be a good start.
as the great coach Jason Brown always says, it's about X's and O's, or I'm sorry, it's about Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's. So if we lose Ben Johnson and we lose Aaron Glenn, we lose our maybe our X's and O's, but we got our Jimmys and Joes coming back. That could still be a recipe for success. Big Mo, you already mentioned on this podcast, you questioned earlier in the season Jared Goff. What do you think? Is Jared Goff a good enough quarterback based on everything else the Lions do have going for him that he can be a part of winning a Super Bowl in Detroit?
Yeah, I think if you keep your offensive line, because I think the interior line, maybe Ragnow might be up. He might be someone they gotta work with. But with the two running backs locked up for another year, like I think if you Golf has to be, I think we have to rely on Golf to be more of a game manager and not rely on him to like throw for 350. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
Even though
again,
Yeah.
he's shown he can do that though.
yeah, but I think I think we've got to become a little bit more like, hey, we're gonna get, you know, 30 plus carries out of our two running backs. And I think yes, again, I think even last night he got a little greedy at times, and he has done that throughout the season. Instead of taking a check down or a simple pass or living to make another play, he has tried to maybe force it because he feels like he's an elite quarterback. And I think statistically, he probably does have elite stats this year.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, that cost us last night. When you've got that many weapons, you got to be willing to take the check down and maybe not force. You don't need to force an issue early on. So I think you can. I don't see a change happening there. I think uh, I think even more so next year he's going to be again. He'll probably make some improvements and I think we'll be back in the same spot. I think we're going to be, are we going to win 15 again? Who knows? But I think we're going to contend. Everyone, coaching wise, whatever happens, happens. The core of our guys are back, so we're going to be um, competitive for another year at least.
Yeah, I think too, like, there's only a handful of guys I still would take over Jared Goff. So if you're going to get rid of Jared Goff, you're not going to get Mahomes or Allen or Lamar. You're not going to get a top tier quarterback in exchange. So the problem is if you get rid of them, you're going to be starting with a young quarterback who's going to need time that you're going to have to build up. And again, we talked about several times the Lions window is so small. The Lions don't have time to restart, I don't think, with
Nope.
a new quarterback unless you're getting another, a top tier quarterback, and that's just not going to happen. Trent,
Yeah, I
this to
don't.
me was pretty spoke volumes too last night. Obviously, they're not looking at Hendon Hooker as the future of the as a future quarterback when Goff went out with a positive when he had to get checked for a concussion. They don't bring in Hendon Hooker. They bring
Yeah,
in Teddy Bridgewater, who's only been with the team for about a month. A month ago, he was coaching high school football.
yeah.
That doesn't speak well for Hendon Hooker.
No, and it probably doesn't sit well for Hendon Hooker either to not get those
No.
couple snaps because I was very surprised when Teddy Bridgewater wandered on out there for a couple plays. Then they false start on the first one. It's like,
Yeah.
all right. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to quarterback position stuff because there's like your top 12 and then it kind of just levels out. So I don't know if it's worth even trying to find somebody else or I think Golf's good enough. But
I do too, just based on the talent around him, for sure.
yeah. And that hit, I don't know. I think that hit stirred him up.
Yeah.
because he didn't just, I don't know, he didn't look the same.
All right. Well, I mean, it's time to move on. I guess I'm like right now, I have no really desire to watch the NFC Championship or the AFC Championship or even the Super Bowl at this point. I'm sure. I mean, time
No,
heals all wounds.
yeah,
I'll still tune in. But as Trent, you and I were talking about before we started recording, time to probably start getting more into some college hoops. But there's still one more big college football game. And this is airing on, this will come out Monday, so it'll be the night this comes out. The College Football National Championship. Trent, you have an opportunity to maybe start feeling quite a bit better if your Buckeyes are able to beat the Irish and Notre Dame to win the College Football National Championship. Whereas, like you said, if they don't win, talk about a rough 48 hours.
yeah. That will be probably some of the roughest hours that I've had in a while. If watch the Lions get smoked and then Ohio State lose to Notre Dame, it'd be a tough spot. But yeah, I'm thinking. I just hope Ohio State's game planning the right way, and I hope a lot of their coaches aren't out interviewing for new jobs. So I feel like that just screws everything up.
I know we talked about this. I think on probably Wednesday. I think we were looking at the line. Um, let's see if it's what it's at now.
What
Uh,
is it?
so now the line is, and maybe it hasn't changed. I don't honestly don't remember what it was when we talked about this last week. Right now we got Ohio State -8.5. That's what the that was the same line the Lions had. Lions -8.5. Big Mo, Ohio State -8.5, over under 45 and a
I
half.
hate that.
Oh, what we got there? You guys were breaking up.
Ohio State -8.5, over under 45 and a half. What do you like? I don't remember what you said last time or if the lines changed, so it could be a repeat. But what do you think? But I mean, it's several days later, so maybe your mind's changed anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That's a. I don't. I'd probably take Notre Dame in the points, and then I'd probably take the under.
okay.
I mean, they've had what? Is it just a week or a week and a half to prepare now?
Yeah, a little over that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ten
yeah,
Almost.
days.
yeah.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, I would expect it under, and I'd probably go Notre. I think Ohio State wins, but I probably was thinking blowout before. But you're getting a national
But after the
championship,
Lions,
probably be a close game. I don't want to jinx Ohio State for Trent there.
Trent, obviously you want
uh,
Ohio State to win. You're picking Ohio State to win, which I think most people are. But when you look at that line, 8.5, how would you bet that?
well, after watching the Lions last night, it makes me think 8.5 is way too much. Um, so I'm not going to take either of them. Neither. I don't know. It's hard to choose because
Ohio
Notre
State
Dame's
money
offense
line.
isn't. Yeah, probably at like minus 400. But I don't know. Notre Dame's offense hasn't been outstanding by any means. So I think the under is probably a good play because
Yeah.
their defense is good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably say the under.
Oh, all right. Well, time to move on, pick up the pieces. I'm excited about having some more time now to watch some college hoops. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we get to our top three?
Nope.
All right. So, in regards to the heart-wrenching loss we had with our Lions losing to the Commanders. Let's not that one's not going to be an option here, but let's talk top three worst losses of our lifetime, whether it was as a player, as a coach, or as a fan. Trent, get that wheel going.
You got it. with the first choice, we're gonna have myself.
Oh, nice.
All
Right
right.
one.
Second choice, Big Mo.
Ooh.
Nice, nice. I'll go number two.
I'm gonna go
Oh,
third.
Trent,
oh,
you
that's
get
good.
third?
I'm gonna go third. Yeah.
Well, then I'll go number one then, Trent. Sorry.
Okay. All
I
right.
thought Trent was flying with number one there.
Nah.
All right. So that means I'm second. All right, Big Mo, then I guess it's to you with your first pick.
All right, I'm going to go first pick. I'm going to go, and I don't remember the year, so I probably should have looked it up. But heart-wrenching was Bird with the steal. The Pistons playoff game at Boston. Um, I can remember, I think we were watching the game at my sister's graduation party in
Oh.
Wisconsin, at a Holiday Inn, because we had traveled from Michigan over to Wisconsin for it. And it was just like like you think the game's over. And I don't know if that would have been the deciding game, but um
I
the
don't
ga-
remember.
it should have never that was the Pistons game. And Thomas, I think, was inbounding the ball.
Yeah, he's the one that inbounded it. Yeah.
Yeah. And just kind of threw a lazy, nonchalant pass and didn't see Bird. And oh, I think at that point, I don't know what grade I was in, maybe like seventh grade, maybe somewhere in that range. And I think I might have shed some tears.
Yeah. No, for sure. Um, I was only, well, that was, no, you would have been younger than seventh grade, I think.
Maybe sixth grade.
Yeah, I honestly, that was even just a hair before my time. Um, all right. Mine is obvious.
This isn't gonna help us feel any better, by the way.
No, I know. But sometimes when you're down, it feels good to just stay down for a little bit. And another thing is, thinking about these games and over time, we all recovered. So it can also give us some, um,
True.
you know,
I don't know.
relief.
I'm not sure I've ever recovered from that Bird steal. And it was 1987 finals,
Eastern
Still
Conference Finals.
suffering.
Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah.
And there's a steal by Bird underneath the DJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, my
Okay,
first
Kurt.
one, this is a no-brainer for me.
Oh,
1993 NCAA basketball championship game, Michigan versus North Carolina.
Mm.
Chris Webber calls the timeout. They didn't have any timeouts left. Technical foul, game, set, match. Heart-wrenching because we knew that that was it. That was year two of the Fab Five. We knew Chris Webber was leaving. It was like that. It was twofold, right? You were super crushed because you didn't win the national championship game, but this group of five players that you were just such a huge fandom. You had such huge fandom for. You knew it was over, and so double, you know, double heart wrenching.
double whammy, huh?
Yeah. So, um, that's my round one. Pick one.
Nice. Mine's going to be a collective series. When the Tigers lost to the Cardinals in the World Series, I
Yeah.
think it was 2013, 12,
Yeah.
something like that. I,
Hold on. Hold on. Okay, try again.
hello?
There we go. Okay.
How much did you miss?
After you said the year.
Oh, yeah. So I was invested in the Tigers 2013, I think it was. And that series just crushed me because they were so bad and they got smoked. And I think there was one specific play where it was kind of like a mess where like guy was running to first and a guy on third. Then we overthrew third.
Yeah,
I think
it was like a
was
little
it?
league play.
Oh my gosh! And that just it tore me apart. But yeah, that Lions series was rough, or the Tiger series was rough.
Ugh. Trent, right back to you then for round two.
Then I'm gonna go with a like a high school game that I was at. It was, I think it was 2017, I think 2016, when West Ottawa played Grand Rapids Christian
Oh yeah.
in the regional semi or regional final, I think. But they fought back from like 17 down, and then some kid hit a buzzer beater from like 40 feet with like 1 second left, and
Yeah.
that one was pretty. It was a wild game. So that was gonna be my
And
second
obviously
one.
you had an emotional connection to that because your dad was the head coach.
Yeah, but it was a sweet game. It was a very good game because that Grand Rapids Christian team had the Xavier Tillman and Dwayne Washington,
Yeah.
so they were pretty loaded.
And the kid that transferred from Ottawa Hills who's now coaching at East Kentwood. Why can't I think of his name? Beck,
Oh yeah,
right? He was
yep,
on that team.
yep,
James Beck.
yep.
Yeah. And I think they went to the finals. Did they win it? I don't remember.
I'm not too sure.
Uh, all right, I guess it's back to me. I'm going to stay with college sports, Michigan football this time. I was actually at the game, 94 versus Colorado. Cordell Stewart, Hail Mary pass, touchdown to win the game as time expired. Never have I heard a crowd of 112,000 people go so silent, except for the little section of a few hundred Colorado fans that were there that were going crazy. It was an unreal scene.
Oh,
Like I said, not a fun question, Kurt. Not a fun question.
Not a fun top three this time.
Um, I'm gonna stick with college football and Michigan.
Okay.
Um, 2001, Michigan at Michigan State was the Duckett
Oh,
extra second on the clock. Uh, Spartan Bob clock person was born, I think, that day. Maybe he paused the clock or something like that. Um, Heart-wrenching. I was at the game, sitting in kind of the Spartan sections as a closeted Michigan fan at that point. Um,
safe is what it is. Safe,
yeah,
Michigan.
and I think it wasn't Smoker, maybe it was Smoker. Anyway, they would Michigan State
yeah, I
scored.
think it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So just again, I think there are a couple of more Michigan games, football games out there that are probably more heart wrenching. But being at that game and just like you're like, come on, like that should have never happened. Extra time on the clock, miraculously. So I'll put that as number two.
All right, and then now you kick off round three.
Kicking off round three, I'm going to go a little personal. And I'll say this is tough to talk about because this is a big week for um, Hope basketball because we've got the rival coming in on Wednesday. So that kind of sparked 1999. I'm going to say playing for Hope College, both Kelvin games. So the rivalry as the year they actually went on to win the national championship, which goes to show you probably how like close um, in Division Three, very just anybody could probably beat anybody on a given night. But our game at Calvin, Aaron Winkle hits a half quarter to tie it up, I believe, to send it to OT, and we end up losing. And then at home, I think we go to OT on a last second three by
Holtis.
Brian Fultis. And again, probably so two chances to probably beat the national champion that year, thwarted by just big shots from them. So just heartbreaking because you have again you have them right where you want them, and you give up a couple. I mean, the half quarter almost impossible type shot, and Fultis was a big time shooter at that point. So anyway, two big losses to our rival back then, back in the
Yeah.
day. So two personal losses there that stand out in my head.
All right, my last one. I'm going to go. This one's a little more recent. Last year, NFC Championship game, Lions 49ers. Lions are up 17-0 at halftime. You think they're cruising. You think you're going to actually see the Lions in a Super Bowl. And that second half was absolutely atrocious. Lions lose, end the season. That close, that close to making it to the Super Bowl.
What a shame. What a shame.
But I will say, we said last night's Lions Commanders game was ineligible for this, but I'll if it wasn't, this is way worse than that Niners Lions game.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. Well, for my third, I guess outside of Ohio State losing 4 in a row to Michigan, I guess it would be one that I like watched growing up was the I'm no Michigan fan, but I felt for him the day they lost to Appalachian State. I think it was 2007.
That's a good one.
That blocked field goal was nuts. And I don't know, it's just one of those games where you should never lose in a million years.
At home.
Right. And then you're just in that situation, and yeah, the block field goal was you feel for some of those diehard fans in those situations. Because that was like early in the year, wasn't it? When you just
It was the first. It was the first game of the year.
Yeah, getting your feet wet. It's New Year. Teams get paid a bunch of money to come play at your place, and then you beat them. So
Well,
I think
plus,
that
I think they were ranked maybe as high as number 2.
Michigan was.
Yeah, and they had Henny at quarterback, Michael Hart as a running back. I think a lot of people thought they had the best offense in the country that year.
Yeah,
Missed two field goals in the final 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember the block field goal, and
Ugh.
it's like you never want to like kind of laugh at people for like the reactions, but I love when teams are stunned, they go to the crowd, and some of the faces are just priceless.
Yeah.
Just like an Ohio State fan to bring up a Michigan loss, Trent.
Hey, at least I brought up the 4 in a row.
That's true.
Because we didn't talk about the 15 years prior to that.
No, we don't have to.
Yeah, but then we can talk about the 11 years prior to that. I mean,
that's fine. Then we get into the 1800s.
The rivalry goes like this, like most rivalries do.
Yeah, but the Lions don't have any rivals, right?
What's that?
The Lions don't have any rivals?
I mean, I guess you could say the Bears, but it's not like...
Oh, come on, Kurt.
It's not like you're like, oh, it's Monday. The Bears game is next week on Sunday. I can't wait. It's not. It doesn't have the same feel as a lot of rivalries.
That's because we were dog water forever.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I mean, here's another one. Let's start talking about some other ones that we have on the list. Big Mo, you brought up the Michigan State with the clock error. How about Michigan State? I believe in 20.
The punt
15 or 16. Against Michigan State at home, where they are winning. Block punt, return for a touchdown,
like a monsoon
to lose the game.
Was that weather just horrible that game?
I don't remember the weather being an issue. I could be wrong. I don't
know. I feel like it was just in like a massive rainstorm, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Some of those. I think, what was the one didn't Michigan State block a field goal? Was that Ohio State
Was it a fake field goal? It was
or
the fake
fake
field.
the where he tossed it behind
Yeah.
his head. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that one
Who
was
was that
another.
against?
Was
Ohio
that
State.
It
Michigan
was
State,
against
Ohio
Ohio
State, I
State. I was
think.
thinking Notre Dame. No?
Oh,
Hmm.
I thought it was Ohio State, but I don't know. I just remember that there was one play that was just like, what? What?
Um, Big Mo, it looks like you're looking that up.
Yeah.
While you're
Notre
looking it
Dame.
up, while you're looking that up, Trent, do you have any other on your others on your list that you didn't get to?
Um, there was one, and I mean, it was like it was a tough loss. I guess it was in my playing day, my freshman year of college. We were hosting the number one team in the country, North Central, and like great game back and forth. And I think we were down four. It was like way late in the game, less than a minute. We were down four, and I hit a three to cut it to one. So then we fouled, and the kid made the first free throw, missed the second, and then we laid it in after the buzzer
Oh,
to send. I think it was either to win or send it into overtime. But
um,
that one was tough. We
was
weren't
it
expected to
legit?
beat them, but it was like it was pretty sweet.
Was it legit after the buzzer?
Yeah, it was late.
Okay.
Yeah, because we took too much time from the rebound to get it up the floor, and it was late. Yeah, it was probably like half second maybe. Like horn goes off, and he's like right at the like probably just about to release it. Yeah, so that was a tough one.
Big Mo, you got that now?
Well, I think the one we're thinking it was against Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Notre Dame?
Yeah. Because I think in 2015, Michigan State beat Ohio State on a field goal.
That could be the one. Yeah, those
I
two.
think the fake field goal I think was against
That
Notre
was
Dame, like
okay.
2010.
Yeah, that one would hurt. That loss would hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, Michigan losing in the national championship in basketball a couple times later to what, Kansas?
What was the Trey Burke year
Is that Louisville?
where he hit a game winner? I think
Oh
they had a
no,
tough
you're
loss,
right.
didn't
They
they?
beat Kansas on the game winner, and then they lost to Louisville in the championship. I couldn't remember
Yeah.
who it was,
That
so I didn't
was
put it on my
wasn't that
list.
the phantom foul call
Yes.
on the block?
Um, but I did also have the Fab Five's freshman year losing to Duke in the national championship. I mean, they weren't expected to win. It was super close at halftime. They ended up losing by 20. But I just think because of my age at the time, being, a 12, 13-year-old kid, you don't care that they're not, that their opponent is a heavy favorite and your team's playing in a national championship and they lose, you're just heartbroken. Plus,
Yep.
I was on spring break in Florida, fell asleep at halftime, woke up as the game was ending.
Oh.
Parents did not wake me up at the beginning of the second half. So that made it even worse. I was like, they lost and I didn't get to watch it.
What year was the Leitner game winner?
Against Kentucky?
Yeah, I think the turnaround one. That loss would suck.
It might have been that year.
If you were on the end of that one.
It might have been that year because then the next year in '93, Michigan beat Kentucky in the Final Four.
Okay.
So I think it was the year prior to that, the 91-92 season. I think, yeah.
Yeah, that loss. That'd be heartbreaking.
92 season.
Yeah. A young Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino.
How about that? Jeez.
Wow. Big Mo, did you have any others on your list?
Nope, I didn't. I mean, the football ones, obviously, there have been some bad Michigan losses, so football losses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have two. I don't remember the years, but there was a couple. Obviously, when you were coaching at Fenville, and I was coaching the JV and our varsity team. Pretty talented team. and a couple heartbreaking losses to the huge rival,
Oh, yeah.
one of the biggest rivals certainly in West Michigan, Saugatuck. Couple heart-wrenching losses there. Not
That rivalry used to be intense.
Oh,
Yeah.
it used to be
It
really.
was nuts.
Yeah. It used to. I don't think it'll ever get anything close to that.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
both gyms, small, old school box
Oh, yeah.
gyms.
Packed.
Fans hanging from the rafters.
Just packed.
So loud and hot and sweaty. Oh, it was great. Great atmosphere.
You had to be there for the freshman game if you wanted to see.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm honestly just, talking to you guys for the last 45 minutes here or so has me feeling a little bit better.
Yeah,
Day by day.
Glad to help.
All right. We'll see you Wednesday.
Yep.